Hey everyone, this is Mike from Digital Strategies Guild. I'm here today with a video series about TreasureDAO, the Magic ecosystem, and more importantly, we're gonna tackle TreasureDAO's metagame, Bridgeworld. So first, we're gonna tackle the introduction to TreasureDAO and also the Magic ecosystem. Quick introduction, we're gonna talk about how everything started. So TreasureDAO started as a treasure project, but first, everything started with the Loot project. So on August 28th, the Loot project was announced on Twitter as a randomized adventure gear NFT, or in gaming terms, a loot bag NFT. It's a free mint. You just need to pay gases, 8,000 NFTs in total, and it immediately caught the attention of many developers. As so the possibilities of making an artless NFT began to circulate, it then led to a new approach to building in-game worlds with NFTs. Here's an example of the Loot Project NFT. It's basically just a white text on black background, but it runs for 1.76 ETH. Nowadays, it's just for the sake of owning one, but it's pretty valuable. So, let's talk about the Treasure Project. It's announced on September 5 as a loot yield farm. It's basically one of the more successful loot derivatives. It was also free to mint. But unlike other projects, that it sought to fit in the loot universe, where loot represented bags of gear for adventurers in an unknown land, treasure NFTs were bags of coveted treasures of varying rarity for use in the same unknown land of loot and adventurers. But basically, the commonalities basically end there. While the loot community became quickly embroiled in arguments about which variant of loot was superior and what purpose AGLD or Adventurers Gold was to serve in their universe, seeking to protect the privilege of the original minters of loot against the inflation that came from additional mints like More Loot, aka M-Loot, and the others. The team at the project took their project down a very different route, which was inclusion. Shortly after dropping the first batch of treasure bags, the treasure team very quickly realized that amidst the chaos happening in the world of loot, there was an opportunity to build a community by engaging with major loot derivative projects at the time. The aim was much more ambitious than simply minting and selling NFTs. Treasure wanted to create a cross-project platform through which different NFT projects could interact and facilitated by a singular reserve for this nascent metaverse. This currency came to be known as Magic. What is Magic? Magic's max supply is 350 million tokens. Its current supply is 230 million. And TreasureDAO basically takes 2.5% of the fees on the marketplace. TreasureDAO is a very tight-knit community. Most of the NFTs were initially free to mint. And one of those first NFTs was Legion, which we are going to discuss in another video. So, Arbitrum 1 network. The project moved to Arbitrum 1 because staying in Ethereum was not cost effective and was impossible to launch. So at that time, TreasureDAO thought to give free legions to people who stake their NFTs or their magic. At that point, everyone who got involved in the project basically had freebies. There was no downside, there was no risk, so everyone happily went along. After the migration day, 70 to 80% of the magic had been staked and locked for migration. The rest was in Sushi Swap liquidity pools to provide liquidity. A grand total of 115 million magic was mined during that initial period. And that bootstrapping value led to the market price of 4 cents each for magic. The team migrating to Arbitrum, the decision was pretty much strategic for multiple reasons. For one, Arbitrum was faster and cheaper, while also remaining closely tied to Ethereum as its underlying layer, meaning the vast amount of capital sitting on the main Ethereum chain, along with its credibility, was always within reach for any project on Arbitrum. So, what is Arbitrum? Arbitrum is basically layer 2 scaling. Layer 2 scaling on Ethereum has the goal of offloading transactions from the Ethereum chain to the Arbitrum chain to basically increase transaction speeds and decrease cost. So, why layer 2? Here's an example. Ethereum can do 15 transactions per second, while a layer 2 scaling network could do 2 to 4,000 transactions per second. So that means cheaper transactions, higher throughputs, and most importantly, faster speeds. Most layer 2 scaling solutions are also application specific. That is why it's more recommended than just increasing the speed of the base layer. Most people would ask, how about ETH 2.0? ETH 2.0 basically introduces proof of stake process and also sharding, which in theory should dramatically increase the transaction speed on the base layer. But layer 2 is still vital so that Ethereum can still achieve its full decentralization and security. That is why layer 2 scaling is still vital in the Ethereum chain or Ethereum network. So to offload most of the work off-chain to increase the transaction speeds and throughputs. So now we're going to discuss the components of TreasureDAO, what makes up TreasureDAO, and also the currency of TreasureDAO, which is magic. So according to a YouTube video I found, TreasureDAO is separated into 4 parts. First, they're game developers. Second, they're NFT marketplace. Third, they have a metagame, which is Bridgeworld. And fourth, they're basically becoming a venture studio. So every component's interconnected with one another, powered by the Treasure Ecosystem's token, which is Magic. Magic has many uses in the Treasure ecosystem. First, it's used to mint NFT. Second, you could stake to earn and to play. And also third, it's a currency of the whole metaverse, which means every single game introduced to TreasureDAO and bootstrapped by TreasureDAO will be using the Magic token. If you guys like the content we produce, be sure to like, comment, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And be sure to check out our Facebook and Twitter, where we frequently post crypto-related content.